What brings you joy? Today we're going to be reviewing the Konmari Revision prompt for our writing. Revision options. So on this paper there are 4 different options for revision. In essence, just editing your piece of writing, your poem, your short story to make your work all that much more powerful, vivid, and descriptive. One of my first favorite ones is the Konmari prompt. So for this one, typically it's done in a group setting and students would trade work, use color pencils and highlighters. If you have those supplies, great, please get them out, and a piece of writing of your choosing. If not, pencil's okay. I'm going to use a pen today for today's example, so that's just fine. So you're going to highlight or underline all of the lines that brought you joy. So these are like lines that you know are fire, that you know are your favorite, your best lines you've written, because you might want to move them around in the poem. Maybe a line in the middle is truly the opening line of the poem or piece of writing. Also, so you want to first 2 to 4 areas that brought you joy, highlight or underline. And second, you want to highlight or underline areas that you want to know more about. So you can add a question mark here, and you're just kind of looking at areas that maybe there's a section in your short story or your piece of writing that is a little confusing, or maybe you want to expand upon. It's not developed enough, or you think that that's an opportunity that you can dive into further. So you can time yourself about 15 or 20 minutes, up to you. I also recommend for students to go ahead and read their work out loud and try to add about 5 lines if you can. Sometimes you'll get into it and you'll add many more than 5. That's just a starting point. So I hope that the Konmari prompt will work for you. In just a minute, I'll show an example of myself using it as well. First poem I'm going to read, I'm going to apply the Konmari revision prompt to, is entitled Like Eternities. So I'll begin by reading it, and then I will underline the lines that bring me joy. Like eternities. The seconds after they arrived are imprinted, like yesterday's, life flashed before your eyes style, especially the heat of their skin, warm like the back of a palm to a fever warm, their eyes already open, their mouths and gums gaping, but their screams silenced by the moment. My eldest grappled for the index finger of my right hand, my middle nuzzled into my neck, and my youngest fashioned her neck into a modified cobra pose, astounding the midwives. An expression hovering as though they wished to tell me something that had been on their minds for some time. Lips parted, part siren, part hymn, part resistance, part resilience, as though they arrived to remind me how worthy I've been all this time, how worthy we all are. So I'll begin by underlining. I like this, how it says like yesterday's. And also life flash before your eye style. I'm a fan of this whole combining of terms. Fever warm sounds a little bit more descriptive than regular warm. I also like this area right here. And then this descriptions of part hymn, part siren. And lastly, the final line. Typically my favorite lines in something that I write are, so those are lines that brought me joy within this. So again, you can choose 2 to 4 areas to focus on when you're doing this prompt. So again, with this piece here, I have underlined areas that bring me joy. The section right here where it says like yesterday's, life flash before your eye style, fever warm, because I think it's a little bit more descriptive than just regular warm. I like this part where it says lips parted, part siren, part hymn. And then of course the final line. Often when I write a poem, the final and the first line are lines that's, stand out as favorites, or lines that bring me joy. Some question marks I had starting from the top. The part 2 of the Konmari prompt would be just, should I break up this section formatting wise, make it left aligned and make it longer to allow some more weight to fall into the lines. Also, there's a lot of information about the births of all 3 of my children here, so I put a question mark if I should expand. And then lastly, if I should include this final line as just how worthy I've been all this time and just include my own experience, or if I should bring it out to the we or the you. So this is just one great example of an amazing revision prompt called the Konmari prompt. She also has it's based upon the organizational method documentaries on Netflix. Check it out if you have not already. And just what brings you joy in your writing. Consider that whenever you're revising your next piece.